Right guys, this is the pole I'm going to make the leister spear out of. It's not that straight, it's straighter than most, so I could steam straighten it, but what the heck. I'm going to dress this. I'm going to shave the bark off, take it down to the wood, sand the wood and make it a smooth spear, because if you rub your hands over it's quite rough. And really you don't want it that rough. I mean the sand when you're out at sea is rough enough. And I want to make a good spear. This is a project that I want to do well. If I just lean over here, got the other piece of hazel. That's got a hook on the top, but thanks to Mr. Adam Savage of Savage Bushcraft, he made me a nice little hook to fit around the top, which will actually give it a better appearance. I'm going to take all this off, and again I'm going to strip it down to the wood, dress the wood up and make a better pole out of it, make a walking pole rather than something I've just hooked out of the woods. So without further ado, I'm using my little flex cut draw knife. I've got a number of draw knives actually, I've got quite a few over there. In fact what I'll do is I'll go over and get one. Here we go, a draw knife. Perhaps I'm going to try and use this for a bit. Basically for taking bark off trees, they normally have quite a horseshoe shaped one for that. And doing pole lathe work, and not pole lathe work, shave horse work as well. Got that downstairs in the back garden. A little bit later on in the video I'll be doing a oh, nice. Very nice. A little bit later on in the video I'll be doing some cold forging to make points for this leister spear. In the previous video I had a bit of a rant about some wood being chopped down up in some local woodland. It could have actually been fortuitous as well. I need to get some, I want some planking to make a axe hold, and I might be able to get it out of this wood. I know you can't see my head guys, but anyway, this is taking me, that's quite a nice little, let's tighten this up a bit at the end. I've actually spent most of the morning redressing a fro. I did a barbecue for brownies last week and I had some scrap wood, which was an old cupboard, and the front blade discovered a couple of nails. So I've been spending most of the time getting the dinks out. As you can see, it's coming off quite nicely. So I'm going to turn the video off now, get on with this job, and then come back to you later with some more bits. Stripped all the bark off. Now I'm using the mauler and I'm just basically scraping over the top just to start the smoothing process off. Getting the odd little green bits of bark that's still left on there, taking it right down. There's a slight kinking wood there, but it's no problem, you know. It's this is for fatty fishing, so I'm not going to be throwing it any great distance. Ideally, I would like to use a proper scraper for that. I've got them made, semi-made somewhere, just to scrape the wood down. It's an old cabinet maker strip as far as I know. Alright. Hope you can see this. Right, I'm going to go on, carry on doing this for a bit. Take off all that bit and then rub it over with some 300 grit sandpaper, then take it down to 600. Okay, be back in a bit guys. Right guys, there we go. The shaft is done. It's not perfectly smooth. It's smooth, but not, you know, not perfect. One of the reasons I took the bark off was to, over a period of time, I want to do some carving on here. You know, when you get 5 minutes, just sitting by the seashore, just whip out your knife and maybe carve a totemic emblem on here, or just something to enhance the shaft. Possibly that much won't get carved on either end, so because obviously I've got to work on getting the spear points on. The spear points will be detachable for the sheer reason I want this to double up as a walking stave as well, so it's in disguise, because carrying a spear through the town is not advisable. Only coastal work, so there we go. So in a moment I'll be cold forging. I've already got 2 of the points made, and it's just to show you how to cold forge the point, and we'll take it from there. Okie doke guys, I'll see you in a moment. Right, tools required for basic home cold forging. 1 club hammer, 1 claw hammer or ball peen hammer, or just a heavyish hammer. You could even use another club hammer, but this will be adequate for your needs. Hopefully a less windy day. For the cold forging I'm using these. Basically they hold plastic bags on at work. You can use aluminium tent pegs for the. I'm still going to use those anyway for the actual leister spear. So basically let's get to it. And, basically what you're trying to achieve is a finish spade end. Being careful not to whack your thumb. That's what you're trying to achieve, is that nice sort of spade end. I want to get these just a little bit thinner, not much more. Done. Right, I'm going to do the same with this one. I think that'll do for today. So I can leave the chopping block out here now and take these babies indoors. Right, what I'm attempting to make something like this. Ooh, I can't quite, that's it, I can see it better. Right, I'm attempting to make this, basically these were two tent stakes, aluminium ones. They're quite a thick gauge and I make wonderful little points, but I'm always on the lookout for doing it cheaper, well not necessarily cheaper, recycling gear. It's easy enough to go and buy a load of tent stakes and make these, but that goes against a little bit against my ethos of trying to recycle stuff. Later on we'll be showing you how to mount these onto the stick, and here we go, here's the blanks. And basically what I'm doing is, first of all, I'm going to attempt to do a point. Right, for this I'm using a triangular file. That's because it will help me do the barb in a bit. So basically we go an half ring. Right, turn it around this way, that's better. I mean, what I'm trying to do, as you probably realise, is to get that initial point. And a right pain it is being as well. Ah, there we go. That's holding it. Right. Right, that is what I'm trying to achieve, guys. So there you go, 1 point done. So I've gone from, basically I've gone from this, where are we? I've gone from this, a round piece of metal, I've flattened it out like this, and I've ended up with the point like this. So right, so now I've got my 3 points. In fact, what I've got to do is straighten this out and bring it to the approximate length of these two, and then I'll show you the method of what I'm going to. It's going to be a 3-pointed spear. There'll be no central point. Now, originally the Leicester spearheads would have looked like this. This is one I made out of ash, and basically I've used dental floss to bind it. And if you can imagine that as being a fish, it goes like that. These just are there just to hold the fish. That stabs the fish. And Leicester spears like this are still being used today up in northern Canada. This is based on a Penobscot design. You can use antler, you can use this and lash some bone or antler to the top. Make very good. I've got to half this one, but this is a fully functioning Leicester spear, made as I said out of ash. They're quite easy to make, but this one, the one I'm making now, is for UK waters, and a bit more on that in a moment. So I'm going to proceed to straighten this out in a minute, right off camera, and then I'll show you how I would attach it to the shaft. See you in a minute. Well guys, there it is. I go up like that. You can see the point. It's bound on by, at the moment, a bit of jute twine. What I'm hoping to do is make a ring or something so I can just slide it on. This is a take apart spear, so these can sit in your tackle box and you've got yourself a walking pole. I'm going to redo the end a little bit so that you've got either a rubber ferrule or something just to protect this end. And basically I'm going to put a little hook in there so you can hook some elastic and phew, there you go. I'll stand sideways on. Nice spear for fishing. And all you've got to do is when you've finished your fishing for the day, here's if I can't do this. Of course there is another use for this. Bang the sausage on the end and you can cook over a fire. And it's good. I'm going to flatten the edges off a bit so that when I'm binding it or wrapping it up, the points don't move so much. But other than that, I'm really pleased with the outcome of this. All I've got to really do is thank the guys at Woodsmoke. So you just put it out like that. Well, almost. There we go. They can go in your tackle box, and all you've got now is just a walking stave. It's just a walking stave. Good bit of kit, and all ready for flatty fishing. Just got to do that end bit, as I said.